Hello everyone, I'm Zath and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my manga haul for the months of June, July, and August. Like most of you, I am struggling to find copies of manga with the way the industry is at the moment, and understandably. That being said, I was still able to pick up some volumes that I have been dying to read. So sit back, relax, and now without further ado, let's get to it. Starting us off this month, we have a manga I couldn't wait to get my hands on, and that is Boys Run the Riot by Kaito Gaku, Volume 1. This series is published in English by Kodansha. I have been looking forward to this series ever since I saw the announcement on Twitter. It did not disappoint. The author did a wonderful job painting a vivid story about a trans boy named Ryo experiencing body dysphoria. He hates wearing feminine clothes and goes as far as to change his uniform on the way to school into his gym clothes. All this is done to avoid wearing the uniform skirt. He has no one to talk to about what he's going through, and even has a crush on his best friend. One day, while out shopping for clothes, he runs into a new student in his class named Jin, who seems to like the same clothes Ryo does. Jin gets to know Ryo after bonding over clothes, and then Jin asks Ryo to start a clothing brand with him. One of my favorite parts happens in Chapter 1, where Ryo finally comes out to his friend after a misunderstanding in which Jin and some of the other kids misgender him. I think this is a very powerful scene. Ryo is very brave, and Jin is a supportive friend. Coming out scenes are very relatable for members of this community. It's great to see a positive outcome for a moment that is often very scary for people. Others have said it better, but I think this was an important step forward for the manga community. I'm really glad Kodansha is publishing this series. Not only is it awesome that we get to see such a unique story with diverse characters, I also think it's positive to share this story with an audience that maybe has never encountered a story like this one before. I've already ordered Volume 2 and I can't wait to read it. Next up is Moriarty the Patriot Volume 3. This is one of my favorite ongoing series. This story is a retelling of Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes stories, told from the perspective of the main antagonist, Moriarty. The previous volume ended off in quite the cliffhanger. This volume starts with Sherlock in jail for a crime he didn't commit. Honestly, each of these chapters have been amazing, and I found the Huntings of Baskervilles act very powerful. This volume has only left me wanting more, and I hope Volume 4 will arrive soon so I can continue reading. After that, we have I Think Our Son Is Gay by Okura, Volume 1. Rarely do we see healthy parent-child relationships in manga. Luckily, Hiroki Oyama has a mother who is in tune with her son. Hiroki often slips up with saying things like getting a boyfriend, and quickly backpedals to say girlfriend. His mother never pressures him, but instead supports her son by never calling him out on things, even when he gets flustered and realizes what he says. It was really nice to read a slice-of-life story in which both mother and son are close and loving. In addition, Hiroki's younger brother Yuri also supports his brother, especially given the fact that when their father comes home, he says some things like, "It's weird, two men are kissing," or asks about his older son's romance with girls. What was especially important about this particular scene is how the brother speaks up for him by reaffirming his own lack of interest in girls and romance in general. There's also a scene where their mother tells her husband to watch a popular television drama to expand his horizons and consider the possibility of two men in a relationship. For as short as this volume was, it covered a lot of important LGBT topics. It really felt like we were watching a normal family dealing with relatable family issues. I really enjoyed the start of this series and look forward to reading more of this wholesome title. Next up is Coyote by Ranmaru Zarya, Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. This series is currently ongoing and published in English by Sublime. Werewolves are something I feel are very underrepresented in manga. Luckily for us, Sublime has published this series. Now, I know what you're thinking. Zath, that title seems pretty straightforward. How can a series called Coyote be a manga about werewolves? Well, it is. And before we go any further, I would like to warn you all that this is a mature 18 and up audiences only. Please adhere to the rating labels and don't be caught reading this manga anywhere someone might look over your shoulder. The story is about a pianist who works at a bar and a werewolf who visits that bar specifically because he enjoys hearing the pianist play. The two are attracted to one another, and once they give in to their feelings, they find out it's hard to pull back. However, things are never simple, and there's a deadly secret hanging between the two of them. Beyond the steamy romance scenes, there is actually a solid story being told about two people who find themselves caught up in a conflict that started far before their time. I dove headfirst into the series and picked up all 3 volumes that are currently released. Sadly, Volume 3 ends off on a hell of a cliffhanger. With no release date for Volume 4, we might have to wait a while before seeing more of the series. However, these 3 volumes tell enough of a plot for readers to enjoy alongside those spicy romance scenes. After that, we have Sweat and Soap Volume 2 and Volume 3. This is a fantastic series that continues to have both spice and charm with an interesting story and characters. I absolutely loved these volumes. We get to see Ahsoka's family, including her protective younger brother. That whole scene with her brother really was wonderfully done. Chief Okura, Ahsoka's boss, is literally one of the best supporting male characters I've seen in a while. Not only is he supportive, he seems so genuine in every scene he's part of. With a great cast of characters so far and a really sweet story, I can't wait for the next volumes I've ordered to arrive. Next up, we have The Way of the House Husband Volume 5. It's always a good month when a new volume of The Way of the House Husband comes out. I love this series, and this volume is no exception. From rap battles to costume contests for a year's supply of rice, this volume, like every other in this series, is a joy to read from cover to cover. If you haven't picked up the series, what are you doing with your life? Next up, we have False Memories by Isaku Natsume, Volume 1 and Volume 2. These 2 volumes make up the complete story. These volumes do contain mature content, so please follow the warning labels and don't read unless you're 18 or older. The story features 2 characters who are in the Japanese toy industry. Suda makes toys and Nakano markets them. These 2 characters have a prior history with one another, having known each other in high school. However, because of a misunderstanding after a night together, they stopped talking with one another for over 10 years until they were forced to work together because of a business deal. I really love the artwork in this series and the character design. One of the most endearing recurring scenes in this story involves how much effort Suda puts into trying to make Nakano laugh. Despite the series only being 2 volumes, I enjoyed it and would recommend picking it up if you enjoy this genre. After that, we have Deadlock Volume 1 and Volume 2. This title is published in English by June. This story starts off quite differently from most titles. We find our main characters in prison. Yuto Lennox is a former DEA officer who is framed for the murder of his partner. The only way to clear his name is to find a criminal named Corvus who is hiding in the same prison he is sent to. Beyond the beautiful artwork, the story really pulled me in along with its wide variety of characters. I have to strongly warn you that this title is for mature readers only, and I emphasize this. Please adhere to the warning. Overall, if you can handle mature content, this is a very intriguing story, and I will be sticking around to see what happens. This is a 4-volume series, with volumes 3 and 4 expected to release sometime in 2022. After that, we have My Summer of You by Nagisa Furuya. This series is published in English by Kodansha. The story is about 2 high school students who share a common hobby of watching movies. They become fast friends and spend a lot of time together, even though they are so different in many other ways. I was looking forward to reading this since it was first announced. I'm a big movie fan myself, and I was curious to see it in the forefront of a manga. The touching story that follows was both realistically paced and enjoyable to read. Next up is Full Metal Alchemist, Full Metal Editions Volume 12. As always, I love these Full Metal editions. The story in particular in this volume is very exciting to read again. Very happy to have another volume of this in my collection. Next up is Dr. Stone, Volume 16. After the last volume's cliffhanger, I was curious to see how the story would continue, and boy did it not disappoint. Another great volume as the Kingdom of Science adds another victory under their belts. But with that victory comes their greatest ambitions yet. One of the things I always like about Dr. Stone was the mystery behind how the world ended up the way it is. And I feel this volume really gives us a huge hint about the state of the world. It also provides a pathway for our heroes to make it one step closer to answering that question. Next up is Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 9. I was really glad to pick up another Jujutsu Kaisen volume and finally find out what happens after the cliffhanger at last volume. This prequel story explains a lot and has a ton of interesting characters. Though this volume had a lot of sad moments, I really enjoyed the story and can't wait to get my hands on more volumes. Next up, we have Demon Slayer Volume 21. By now, you all know how much I absolutely love this series. Each of these remaining volumes seems to leave me in tears. With the story wrapping up in a couple more volumes, the story continues to hit like an emotional truck. After that, we have The Promised Neverland Volume 19. Only one more volume to go until this series wraps up. Emma and company are back at the Grace Field House for the final confrontation. I'm glad the story chose to head back where it all started, and either way, it's been one hell of a journey with this series. Next up, we have Fake Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, Volume 6, and Volume 7 by Sanami Mato. This is an older series published by Tokyopop. This story is about two New York police officers and their not son but kinda son, and his girlfriend, and their friends. The 90s vibe is strong with this story, which makes sense since it was published in 1994. Fake seemed to be ahead of its time with its characters and storytelling. I really enjoyed reading Dee's confidence in both his skills as a cop, but also his bisexuality. Ryo is more soft-spoken, but cares deeply about the people around him. Honestly, I was very surprised at how much I loved this series and how funny it was. It took me a while to find the whole series, and thankfully these volumes don't have the obnoxious Tokyopop logo. I'm happy to have this series in my collection. You can also check out some of these volumes for free if you have a Kindle Unlimited or Comixology subscriptions. Next up is An Incurable Case of Love Volume 7. This is the final volume of the series, and all I can really say is I'm glad it's over. Unfortunately, I really didn't enjoy this title, but felt more compelled to read the whole story and support the genre. After that, we have We Swore to Meet in the Next Life, and That's When Things Got Weird, Volume 2. The second volume continues the story of a lady and her knight who have been reincarnated into the modern world. It's such a sweet story with an adorable art to match. Don't let the smaller size volume dissuade you from picking up this title. It's cute and a wonderful palette cleanser for more of the serious titles. And wrapping up this haul is Spy Family Volume 4 and Volume 5. I ordered these a while ago and I'm glad to receive them at long last. Spy Family is one of my favorite ongoing Shonen Jump series. This title knows how to perfectly balance between wholesome, comedic, and dramatic. I really love the covers as well. This teal color is very unique and the style the characters are portrayed in. As always, I will be looking forward to reading the next new volume when it's released. And that's going to do it for my summer manga haul. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, if you have any opinions on these series or any additional recommendations for new series I should check out, let me know in the comments below. If you want to see more of this content, please like and subscribe. I'm Zath. Have a good day.